Good morning, everybody, and welcome. Thank you for joining us for today's webinar, From Admin to Advantage, Gain Your Competitive Edge with AI, proudly sponsored by Alfred AI. It's fantastic to see so many people registered for this and already online. I'm confident you're going to walk away with practical insights to help you start using AI strategically in your business and how to implement it. My name is Brad Mooney. I'm the General Manager of Western Sydney Business Connection. Before we get started, I'd like to acknowledge that I'm hosting and recording this webinar from the lands of Arab people. I also acknowledge the traditional custodians of various lands on which you will work today and pay my respects to any Aboriginal or Torres Strait Islander people joining us. At The Connection, we're committed to giving our members access to valuable business resources, and it wouldn't be possible without the support of our fantastic platinum partners. The Connection is proud to be partnering with seven incredible businesses who ensure we're able to continue giving these type of webinars at little or no cost. I'd like to thank 360 Personnel, BMD Group, Campbelltown City Council, Matthew Folby Lawyers, Motivate Sports, Leadership Think Tank, YAPA, and of course Alfred AI, who are kindly sponsoring today's webinar. Now on to today's topic. AI isn't coming. It's clearly already here. The real question is, how fast will you adapt before your competitors do? Sessions designed for business owners and leaders who already understand AI's potential and want clear, practical steps to implement it successfully. We're pleased to be joined by William Zhang, the CEO and founder of Alfred AI, Australia's leading enterprise-level AI automation, professional service and construction firms. William brings extensive experience in bridging technology and industry, helping businesses automate up to 80% of their administrative reporting and proposal work while also improving profitability, operational consistency, and scalability. So without further ado, let's get stuck into this, and I'd like to hand it over to William. Thanks again.
Thank you, Brad. Let me just share the screen. All right. Everybody seeing the screen okay? Oh, good. Give me the thumbs up.
Yep.
Cool. Hey, everybody. Great to see you all, and thanks for joining us today. So, to start with, I would love to know who's here today. If you don't mind just putting the business industry you're in your position in the company in the chat box, that will give me more context of what to share to best benefit your AI journey. So while you're doing that, please allow me to have a quick introduction about myself. My name is William Zhang. I started my career as a structural engineer in a tier 1 company here in Sydney back in 2007. That was actually my only full-time job ever. So in 2014, I took a rare chance to buy into a startup engineering and construction services company. And like many of you, I know what it's like to be buried into juggling hirings, sales, admins, and daily firefighting. So that company grew from 2 million the first year I joined and peaked at 100 million just a few years after. So I exited that business between 2020 and 2022. So along the way in 2018, I built my first automation software with 2 other co-founders, and it cuts a core engineering task from 2 days down to just 15 minutes. And that single system saved us $500,000 a year in staffing cost. So it gives us a competitive edge for many years. And we call it the Mind Creations. So if you go to mindcreation.com.au, you will find us. And I commercialized it in the same year. In 2022, I launched my second software platform, a commission distribution system for business coaching franchises. And that automates franchising registration, subscription, profit sharing, multi-level distribution, and payments. And the creation of that platform got me featured in Forbes Australia in November 2023. And of course, it is still running today. So by 2023, I knew AI was the next leap. I envisaged something bigger, a platform that didn't just automate work, but also build accountability, leadership inside the teams. I started using AI knowledge management for Palantir Consulting, other firms. And that plugin has grown into Alfred AI today, a full AI-powered platform that runs not only for clients, but also for our own teams within Alfred AI itself. So today, Alfred AI is my full focus, and I am excited to share with you what I have learned, practical ways AI can transform operations, reduce risks, and lift the value of your business. So I'm not actually here alone today. With me is our CTO, Alex Tundrell, and the tech genius who led the development team and built Alpha AI from scratch. So Alex also worked with me on the commissioning distribution app. And before that, he was behind hugely successful golf app. It's called Golf Genius. And Golf Genius has more than 500,000 downloads, 4.6 stars on App Store, 4.8 stars on Google Play, serving 10,000 clubs across 53 countries, powering 37 million rounds and nearly 1 million events every single year. And joining us is and John McClain is our senior client success consultant and AI solution expert. So John brings 11 years of commercial law experience, and he's worked hands-on with hundreds of business owners across Australia within Alpha AI's team. And he's not just an advisor, he's a power user of AI himself. And John has helped firms not only optimize their current workflow, but also rethinks and rebuild them into completely new, faster, and more profitable systems. So together, our goal today is very simple: to show you exactly how AI agents actually works, what ROI you can expect, and the steps to start using them inside your business. If you're excited, please type yes in the chat box. Let me know. So who should be here today? Now it's look, it's a bit of a heads up. So if you're running a process heavy business that's between 2 million to 10 million dollars, and you into or 200 million, actually it's a typo on the screen, sorry. Know that AI may help your operations and to take your business to the next level. You want AI to save time and money, and you want to have a controlled and you have lowered your risk of a business, and you want to scale. You want a stronger profit and higher valuation of a business, or you're just simply a business owner who's ready to step back from daily firefighting and let the center run, so you can have more time and on strategy, on branding, relationships, and coaching, and maybe a nice holiday. So this session is designed exactly for you, and this could be very controversial. So it is my belief that if you want to understand AI a bit faster, there's only one simple concept that you really need to understand, and that is the investment theory. In the next 45 minutes, I'll explain how investment theory is going to apply to a business level AI implementation. You will discover what AI can do right now and how it impacts your people and operations. What kind of ROI is really realistic, and the exact step to what to do next to start, and what you can start first to maximize your return. And by the end, you will know if AI is for you and how to act immediately. And I promise you, this will open your eyes to a whole new way of looking at AI and your business future. Who has tried ChatGPT or any other AI tools in your business? If you can interact in the chat box to us, and they'll be very, very helpful. All right. Awesome. The ChatGPT and Copilot. Awesome. Thanks for participating. Yeah, keep typing the name if you're using AI. So what is the investment theory? So and why do we need to talk about it, considering we are discussing AI today? So investment theory is a study of how people and organizations decide where to put money, balancing risk and return, and time to make the best financial decision. So today I'm going to break it down into 4 main parts, and I call it the secret to grow. The first part of the grow is called gain. This part is about what you are gaining, considering risk, return, and the compound effect. In other words, ROI. But before we talk about numbers, we need to first understand where we are in the AI technology landscape. So right now, most of us, what you can see in the market is called the ANI, artificial narrow intelligence. This is AI that performs in one task very, very well, and not better than humans at everything, but often better at very specific jobs. Things like summarizing long documents in seconds, generating files and reports, writing codes and drafting emails, sending notification reminders, booking appointments, producing graphs and dashboards, and even doing some deep research on companies, spotting patterns, or generating images. So when it comes to investment, Warren Buffett really puts it the best. The first rule of investment is never lose your capital, and the second rule is to never forget the first rule. So now for long-term success, it's not just about risk or return. It's about understanding the mechanism behind great returns. One of the most powerful principles is the compound effect. Think about AI in the same way. Your very first small investment may be ChatGPT or to draft emails or summarize documents and give you a small productivity boost. And the time that you save from there frees you from go to deeper into AI agents, if anyone heard of AI agents. So once those agents are set up properly, they start to save you hours every week across more complex tasks. And those savings in time and money create opportunity to go bigger. Instead of just tinkering at the edges, you can transform the way your business actually operates. Imagine moving from conventional low AI system into an AI-centric business operating system, where every single person in your organization has their own AI assistant, their own knowledge base assigned based on their access permissions. So the ability to create workflow and deploy agents that supercharge their daily work. So now picture what that does to productivity. You already have a strong team, but imagine if one of them knew how to leverage AI to maximize revenue per capita. For the context, in most conventional B2B firms, we aim for around $250,000 to $300,000 in revenue per employee that you have on your team per year. But now it is not the case because let me give you a benchmark from a new AI native generation, and one of the companies called Midjourney. So they turn over about $200 million annually with just 40 staff. And that's over $5 million of revenue per capita, per person. And this is the opportunity where it shows that what's possible. It proves that every one of us has the room to massively, massively improve productivity and scale return if we start compounding small AI investments today. So if we were to put the risk management hat on, when people hear AI or ChatGPT, they often picture these massive billion parameter models sitting on the cloud and trained on the whole internet. But that's true for LLMs, that's called large language models. Like ChatGPT is large language model, Grok is large language model, and Gemini is large language model. They're very powerful. But they come with risk in data security, a lack of control of answers, aka hallucinations. So now here's a part of what most business owners don't know yet. It's called SLMs, specific language models. Sometimes people call it small language models, are the game changer. So a specific language model is trained on more focused data set. It doesn't try to know everything. Instead, it specializes. That means it's faster, it runs locally on your machine, and it can be on smaller servers, sometimes even on your own devices like phones. And it's cheaper, less computing power required, so cost drops dramatically. And it's safer. You can really fine tune it on your own company's knowledge base without sending data to the public cloud. So here's the opportunity with SLMs. You don't need to worry about exposing sensitive contracts or clients' data to a public system. You can run a secure and private AI that answers questions from your policies, your reports, and your CRM, and nothing else. And for example, imagine a finance firm deploying a SLM trained only on the tax law, compliance regulations, and their internal processes. No distraction, no data leaks, no hallucinations, but about random topics from the web. Just a sharp, fast, and compliant answers for work purpose only. And here's the kicker. SLMs make AI adoption practical for most organizations. You don't need a $5 million tech budget to do that. You just need the right setup, the right orchestration, we're going to talk about later, and the right training for your own knowledge base. I hope you're all following with me right now. So what do we mean by orchestration? Think of orchestration as a conductor in an AI-powered workflow. It's like a butler at your service, and that's why we name Alfred. It's a butler, Batman, Alfred. It doesn't replace your system. What it does is it connects with them. It decides what needs to happen and when and how and across all your tools and teams and data sources. The orchestration layer is where your business logic actually lives. It's the brain that pulls all the right information from your CRM, your files, and send to the right AI model, whether it's a large language model or small language model, formats the output in the way that you want it. Then it sends back to the right place, whether it's an email, a drafted proposal, or task in your project board on your ERP system, or raise an invoice, or even a phone call by a voice agent. Without orchestration, AI just becomes a set of very disconnected experiments. With that, you get business grade automation, predictable, scalable, and aligned with how your business already works without reinventing the wheel or processes. So if large language models are the future of general intelligence, specific large language models are here and now the solution for secure and ROI return business transformations. So the second part of grow is reward of time. And I guess we also know that human emotions and biases distort the rational investment decisions. So remember ANI, artificial narrow intelligence, and the stage after that is called AGI, artificial general intelligence. Think of this as a system that can learn, reason, and apply intelligence across many tasks. It's just like human, like it can adapt, solve problems it hasn't been solved before, and connect the dots across domains. Some experts believe that AGI could arrive as little as 10 to 30 years. Others argue that it may take 50 years or more. Personally, I believe AGI will eventually come, but when it comes, there will be lots of its abilities will be restricted by policy, law, or regulation. And then beyond that, that's ASI, artificial super intelligence. This is where AI will surpass human intelligence in every single domain. Strategy, creativity, problem solving, and it's powerful to imagine, but realistically, it's much further away. Highly likely that we won't be able to see it in our lifetime, or at least not in our career life, right? So knowing these timelines, it shapes our contextual vision of what we're going to do with ANI, the artificial narrow intelligence, and GPT. So it shapes our vision to what we can do in the next 3 to 15 years. It means that if we want to wait for AGI to become that we want to if we want to wait for AGI to come before we jump on the technology bandwagon, we will be far behind our competitors. So the reality is most of us are stuck firefighting, our staff spending hours retyping data, chasing clients and fixing spreadsheets, and all these leaks of time destroys our ability to scale our business. So here is the challenge, and as human, we misjudge the value of time. We get caught up on visible costs, the salary bills, the software subscriptions, because they are easy to see. But what we ignoring are the hidden costs, the delays, the errors, the loss of opportunities that never show up on the balance sheet. And then there is our emotional bias, as I mentioned before. We think if I can see my team working, I feel safer than trusting a AI system. But the truth is, it's not about what appears to be safe, what you look safe. It's about what actually frees you to grow your business. And here's the opportunity: like AI doesn't just cut costs; it gives you back time, and time, when used well, compounds just like money. Less mundane task means that less stress on the team. Faster proposal means that you can bid on more projects. Automated invoicing management, meaning that cash flow quicker into account. Faster client responses means the higher retention and better word of mouth. So on the other hand, it is also about consistency, accuracy, and scalability about AI. Consistency means that action get done on time and every time. Sales reach outs, invoice reminders, reports delivered, leads, follow-ups, no more things that slip through the cracks or human performance. So accuracy, it means that you got the facts right. The data cross-referenced, information flows up with full transparency to the leaders, and leaders can finally make decisions with confidence. And then there is scalability. Once the system is set up, it doesn't take months, but weeks or even days to train. Your business can grow faster, easier, and cheaper because the processes are already embedded into your new system. For example, there's a cleaning company that we work with in the past few months, and they had to process around 50,000 site photos every single month. They were relying on staff to manually file them into the right folders on their system. But what do you think actually happened? Errors, delays, people upload the wrong things and end up with unhappy clients. But when they adopted AI classification that we developed, their report delivery time dropped by 50%. They no longer need to keep two full-time staff just to classify photos and upload them into the right place. But the real ROI it's not just a cost saved in the admin hours, it was actually the fact they kept the clients happy and they hold onto contracts and they got more referrals. That is the power of compound effect over time. And that's why time is a real asset. And with AI, it's transformational and you can reclaim it and reinvest it wiser than ever before. The third part of grow is O. O stands for ownership, order, and obstacles. So it's about your accountability for making decisions for your people, not to blame the market. Let's talk about the real world blockers that hold firms back from AI adoption. So the first thing is lack of ownership. No one steps up to lead AI adoption other than the owner of the business. So the idea just lies on the shelf. The second is, the wrong order of implementation. Businesses throwing random tools together like ChatGPT here, Zapier, maybe a few SaaS models, add-ons, but there's no orchestration. So it's a chaos. And then there are obstacles. Your staff may fear AI will take their jobs, and managers will resist change because they don't want to be responsible for deploying the wrong AI that frustrates the team and also waste the company's investment time. So leaders delay decisions because they are unsure where to start. So the challenge is very clear. Without leadership buy-in, the AI will remain as a toy. Without order, integrations will fail. Without tackling obstacles, adoption stalls before it even starts properly. But there is an opportunity as well. Aligning clear ownership, assign a champion who drives the initiative. It could be your internal CTO, or you may contract one of our experts at Alpha AI to do just what needs to be done without $200,000 bill on your bank account. So and bring some orders together, one or maximum two workflow that you apply at a time, not everything at once. And how do you remove obstacles? Is you show some small wins very quickly. I'll show you how to do that a bit later, so that your staff sees AI as a helper, not as a threat. And finally, we want to talk about waiting. How you actually decide where to start with AI and how much is it to invest into AI. So what if I tell you that if you invest just 1% to 3% of your revenue on AI technology implementation, you could get 2x of your investment in the first 6 months, maybe 5x your investment in the first year, and 10 to 20 your investment in the next year, and every single year after, you would jump on the opportunity. Am I right? So the pain is, though, business owners overweight the risk of what if it fails, and they underweight the opportunity cost. What if we do nothing now while our competitors are moving ahead? And once your competitors adopt earlier, they build a moat. You simply can't catch up maybe 4 years. That's how we did, our automation at Palantir Consulting. And the challenge is that it is hard to know which AI project deserves the right investment first. It's very hard, like we don't have hours and hours to learn AI every single day, but many firms pick the wrong starting point and get very low ROI and the whole thing just stops. So here's the opportunity. Weight your projects by impact and ease of adoption. Start with the bottlenecks that really bleeds the most time and money, and like proposals, invoicings, and lead responses. You can categorize each item on your AI automation workflow wish list on this quadrant. Impact, low impact, low difficulty of adoption, low impact, high difficulty of adoption, high impact, low difficulty of adoption, and finally high impact and high difficulty of adoption. So you can see the 4 quadrants on diagram here. So in fact, you know what, like, why don't we just try to do it now? You can list 1 or 2 things you can think of immediately that's currently you're doing it manually and with non-AI system, and you really want to automate because it takes you so much time to complete a particular workflow. And I'll give everyone about a minute. You can type in the chat box. Don't worry about which quadrant they are right now. Just write it down. What do you want to automate? I'll give everyone about a minute. It can be report writing, fee proposal, invoicing. Anyone use voice agents to call people? Automatic texting? I'm not seeing any messages come through. So, oh, there's one. Thank you. Client engagement. Awesome. Pre and post sales, business operating streaming. Yeah. Yeah, keep it coming. If there's nothing to automate, it means that you're already having a system to do that very quickly. Workflow for sales, report writing. Awesome. What about assigning jobs to people, to subcontractors, and automation of lodging time and a time spent on site or time spent with client? Tender, yeah. Claim assessment, perfect. Yep. Onboarding, interviews. Yeah, checking contracts and policies, 100%. Awesome. So now we have some idea what we can do is you try to put them in one of the 4 quadrants on the screen to see where they land. Yeah. So now if you have put the automations on the chat, you will understand a bit better of what you want to do first. But if you need help understanding whether a automation is high impact or not, or is it difficult to adopt or not, just simply message I need help to our team member John and John McClan, in the public chat box or to him directly. We'll reach out to you to help you to get this task done in under 15 minutes after this webinar. Okay, SOP data. Yeah, thank you, thank you. All right, we can move on. That was a good practice. And of course, AI automation is not in theory anymore. We work with a firm that was considering 4 workflows: automate invoicing, CRM automation, technical report generator, and the Butler on the go orchestrator that we built ourselves. And after weighting the choices, they went with the technical report generator first. Why? Because it was high impact, high frequency, and painful every single time they need to spend 8 hours writing one report. And now we can do 2.5 minutes, one report with AI and batch processing. So if I can play this video for you guys, it's about 4 minutes. This is a video where we showcase the technical report writing in a real case project delivery as a Zoom recording. I'll play that right now.
I can, yes.
Okay, so this is basically on the left is the interface, yeah?
Yep.
Of where people is going to operate at.
Mm.
It's very simple here. Even if you don't read anything here, intuitively just dragging the report, you can see the folder on the right, yeah?
Yeah, I can,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah. So you're dragging the report,
Yep.
And it's now uploading the report
Yep.
and just processing and extracting data. You got to process by telling you where it is. Yeah, the overall sequence is about 2.5 minutes.
Yep. Yep.
At the moment. So now we're at a stage that the AI detected these are the recommended chapters that you're probably going to have in the report.
Yes.
So the manual input here is to have a sense of which one do you want to include or remove. And
Yep.
majority of the case, you keep everything anyway.
Correct. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
But if you want to add something, the extra topics are potentially here. As I said, if it's not there, contact us as support to add in more. If you feel that it's going to become a norm to include that chapter for future jobs. If it's a one-off, don't even bother just adding manually. Okay.
Yep.
But for example, here, if I'm adding the lift maintenance agreement, it's going to ask you to insert the lift maintenance agreement. So here I have a file there, for example.
Yep.
I'll just upload that.
Yep.
Now it's adding the chapter into the report. And now you see where it is at, and the maintenance report is number 6.
Okay. Yep.
Okay. And then we just go proceed. Now just wait for it to populate.
Okay, yeah, now we'll do the
actual writing.
Yep.
So at each section you can adjust or you can see what it is writing. For example, here.
So you can read it in the browser.
Yeah, you can read it or you can adjust whatever you want to adjust.
Yeah.
Okay? And now it's final steps. Now we end up with a report. So here's a new function. As I said, I'll give this one to you for free. It wasn't in the original scope. Is to actually do image recognition.
Yep.
So now it's asking you to add images to the report by drag and dropping. So I've prepared these images.
Yep.
Yeah. Just for transparency, we used AI to detect what the image is. I didn't hard code this image needs to be named as XYZ. So it's now reading the image and it's giving you what it is the best it can.
Normally
you can download that. You can let's see if we download this particular report. Then we open it. So this is your report. Okay, so error and narrow is the one here.
Yeah,
so that easily, no problem, easily changed.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, because I guess generically, like as a thing as well, like we'll see there'll be like because there might be little things like that, like when we go through that teething phase or testing it and things like that, there'll be like little things that we'll be able to sort of tighten up and nip up a little bit.
Yep.
Yep.
That's a final 5% that you have time to.
Correct. Yep.
Anything else you see that immediately not working well?
No, I don't think so at the moment. No.
Yeah. So now when you log into your account, you will see the bot under your control panel here, basically. You will see that bot.
Yep.
Then when you go into, for example, I go to your bot here, you will see a plugin. So you go to overview, then you go to connect, or you even go to playground, or you just go to the URL here. All right, so this goes straight to the bot in the full screen mode, basically.
Okay.
Yep. If you want to clear the history, it's reset conversation.
Yep.
Okay. If you just want to clean the screen, that's the button. All right. Awesome. Okay. So so if you like what you have seen, type 1 in the chat box. I would love to see some feedbacks. Next up is I would love to have our CTO Alex Tonjul to do some live demos and in combination with some videos to showcase some more applications that we have developed so far. For example, knowledge-based chatbot setup, leads enrichment and prospect matching, automation of invoicing, our mobile app, and also the auto CRMs and orchestration on accountable.link, which is our ERP system. I'll hand over to Alex right now.
Perfect. Thank you very, very much. So I'm going to share my screen now, and hopefully people can see my screen. So my goal is to effectively show 5 demos, which are going to be a typical journey for a company that wants to use AI automation. And it's actually a little bit in increasing complexity of what can be done with AI. 1 through 5 type in a 1 through 5 at the end to let us know which one kind of matches most what you guys would want to use. So number one is setting up the knowledge base. This is something that all companies will do. And we can do it for them as well. It's also available as a do-it-yourself on our website, alfredai.bot. Assume that you have a website, your Summit Construction Group, and you want to set a bot that has knowledge about what you do. This can be for internal or external purposes, and it can range from goals such as answering questions to the users, or to actually train your staff internally, or to deal with specific construction regulations in Australia, and all of those would work. The way you do that is very simple. This is your website. You will go ahead and just go back a little bit. You will go fill in the name for the bot, the industry. You'll create it. We'll go through, and then you'll navigate to this training lab over here, where we have multiple ways of being able to train the bot, including links, a website, text, files, Q&A. In this case, we are training the bot on a website that we're organizing, on an event that we're organizing, Radius. We are then going forward and training it on a bunch of general texts of ourselves. And then finally, we update the color schemes such that it matches the website. So then at the end, we have this bot, and it can be used very simply, placed very simply on the website. On the website, it shows right here on the right-hand side. It can be customized. And then when someone opens it, we can now start interacting with it. So this is now available on your website. Tell me about the Radius event. Okay, go ahead. It's going to find out the information that it has about Radius. This is something that the chatbot as a whole or a ChatGPT would not have by default, but because it was trained on your data, it now has. So again, the way this is this is something that is at the level that anyone can do it yourself, and people typically use it either as a service for their customers to answer questions about their services, or internally to train the knowledge base. Now, once you have this knowledge base trained, you can then start doing more complex things, and we'll jump very quickly to the second one, which is lead enhancement and matchability. And now for this one, assume that you are a financial services company for the construction industry. And we'll go ahead and take a look at a couple of things in here. We will assume that you have a set of leads, like their websites. These are companies that you have perhaps received from a conference that you've attended, or you've met them, and you want to maintain relationships with them, but you don't really know where to start. You don't have all the information, or you could have used the service to give you a large list of potential customers. And they all have their websites, and obviously they are very complex, and you can go ahead and see a lot of things. So what we've done here, which is fairly well received, is to be able to create effectively a lead enrichment and matchability campaign, where we're going to say, yep, we are going to be these guys, and this is our target with these companies. So in this case, the campaign purpose is going to be something that looks like this. Please find construction companies that do something, right? It might be interested in financial consulting. We fill in the industry, the range, and locations. We've uploaded that file, and we now see the companies inside, and we are going to run it. So now it's going to take some minutes to run, obviously, but it's going to do initially enrichment on the data. It's going to figure out how large the companies are. It's going to figure out what their contact details are. It's going to identify individual contacts here. It's going to give everyone a score, which is the likelihood of doing business with them. And you can go ahead and see that. And obviously you can rank them by the likelihood, and it's going to give you an outreach plan for each of these companies. So this is fairly valuable because it sits right at the beginning of the sales process, and you can see them and then start tracking them. So this is the second demo that I wanted to show. Now let's assume that you've done your sales process and you have signed them up as a customer, and you now want to do invoice automation. So you have a contract, the contract was signed, and you want to start invoicing per the terms of that contract. The way we set this up would be something like this. We have an email address out, which is our agent, and any kind of email that comes from approved personnel with a contract attached is going to be parsed, looked at, and we're going to identify what we want to invoice, which the client is, what are the invoicing terms. So just a sample contract is here, signed. It can be anything at the end of the day. And let's assume that this company uses Xero and that we've done the setup process, which I'm going to skip through. But assume that you've connected a Gmail account for the agent, and assume that you've connected Xero. And I'm going to skip all that. Then what you can do is you can send this email very quickly. This email is going to reach our agent. Agent is going to see what's going on within that contract, and within a minute, it's going to reply something like this, and it's going to say, okay, this is what I've identified. This is the client. This is what you need to initially invoice. These are the amounts. These are the zero items. It can update an invoice if this is happening the second time. And then you're going to take a look, see, okay, and it's telling you exactly what it's going to do. Create a client and invoice, create an item in Xero for future invoices, and so on and so forth. And you confirm that, and when it's confirmed, the customer immediately receives the invoice. This invoice was also created in Xero. The client was created in Xero, so they can just press view and pay, and they will get right to the invoice. So this is the third one in the journey. Now, obviously, you've set up this orchestration, and we're going a little bit further ahead, and you are in your car and or at the conference, and you want to interact with all of these orchestration systems. We've designed an app where you have access to either individual agents that do specific tasks, or a central butler that can then redirect all the data to the right agent. It can be done with voice, with videos, and we'll have some examples. So in this case, I did a voice. I said, please show me all the last leads you can find. And it's thinking, and then it's giving me a snapshot of the data from my CRM with all the leads, who are the recent ones, what are the next ones, and I can obviously go ask follow-up questions. I want to scan a business card and get the information from that, and here I'm scanning my my business card. And it's going to recognize the data, and it's going to send that person an email, an introduction email. We've used this with William at the conference very recently, very, very successfully. And we got quite a few business cards, and people were very happy with this very tech leading approach. And then finally, this is for tracking both your leads and your staff in terms of time on those projects. So in this case, what we do is we watch your email for requests for proposals. As they are coming in, we are adding them into Accountable, which is the CRM. Looks like this. All the leads are coming in as a request for proposal. As you're taking this lead through, certain steps of the process are being automated through AI, such as the proposal generation. And this is then flowing directly into the workflow, because we have a very, very nice AI-powered system into here. People will start tracking their time against the project. And for example, here I can have a real conversation, and it's much easier to use than anything else. So chart of my timesheets, and it's giving me a 30-day chart of the timesheet hours, and I can very quickly see that it's very stable and so on. how many hours have I worked this week? And it's answering that question, right? Daily breakdown in a table, it's giving me a table. I can export this into a CSV, download it, and see what's up. Or, for example, what is in this image? This is a screenshot of a timesheet style table, and then it's asking me whether I want to import this into my timesheet. So it's a much more modern approach to everything. So that's it from me. A quick 1 to 5 would be great in terms of what would apply for you guys most. Thank you so much.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Alex. Let me get back on my thing. I hope I'm back on. Awesome. So like I'm self-impressed about that myself. Like I just feel that this world is totally different with AI right now. So it's not just about plugging in and play tools. So these are the real advantages comes when you customize it for your business. So when you take the time to train your AI on your internal knowledge base, documents and workflows, it pays off long term. It builds a moat to your competitors that can't copy. It buys you time, the time that can grow your brand, the time you can use to strengthen your relationships, and yes, even the time back so you can spend more time with yourself, your family, and friends. And but now let me introduce a concept I call the alpha value. And here's the shift in thinking, right? AI automation should be treated as an investment portfolio, not a one-off expense. You know, you diversify your projects. Your aim, you aim to a realistic ROI saying that, 1 to 5 or 1 to 20. And then you scale this into those super high returns automations that your competitors just can't keep up with. And that's what I mean by alpha. So the word alpha originally comes from finance as well. It's about the extra return you earn above the baseline. So why do we need alpha? It's because alpha is what separates your business from your competitors. The magnitude of your alpha will depend on 4 parts of the investment theory we just covered. Your gain, your reward of time, your ownership, and your weighting. So if you want to remember one thing from this session, just remember this. Grow your alpha with Alfred. Alpha is the value you create, and Alfred is the vehicle. So let's pause for a moment and ask us the big question. So why now? Why invest now? Why not just wait for a few years when the technology is even better? So the first thing is that there is a generational shift right now. The new workforce entering your business doesn't want clunky spreadsheets or outdated CRMs. They expect AI first workflows. If you don't provide that environment, they will either get frustrated or leave for a company that actually does. Secondly, there is a competitive pressure. Your competitors are already embedding AI into their operations. The question isn't if, the question is how fast will you adapt? And will you adopt AI? And who is actually going to do it better with a professional partner like us? And here is the reality. Whoever adopts it first properly wins the compound advantage earlier. And third, let's get some clarity on the framework. So we all know about SaaS, right? Software as a service. That's yesterday's model. Like that's so old, it's 25 years ago now. And then it comes to AAAS, agent as a service. These are the agents that are doing tasks for you right now. But the real leap is actually not even MAS. MAS stands for multi-agent, but I want to introduce a concept called BAS, Butler Agent as a Service. And that is what Alpha AI represents, not just a tool, not just a agent, but a system level butler that orchestrates your business operations end to end, like you already have seen on the case study that Alex has presented. So if all that feels very abstract still, just let me bring it closer to you and so that can relate to you. It is hard in this current market in Australia to hire senior staff, very hard. And salespeople are stuck in admin works, or they don't even do any admin work, which is even worse. So instead of actually selling, managers and staff struggle with accountability gaps. Leaders can't get real transparency instantly. on what's happening day to day. And even basic reminder systems feels very weak and unreliable, and no one's following. So if that sounds familiar, these aren't just small pains. These are the signs of the system that's already maxed out. And that's exactly why change has to happen now. The gap between early adopters and the laggers is widening. Where you position yourself in the next 12 months will shape your competitiveness for the next 5 years. So instead of waiting and hoping, I want to give you everything you need to beat and perhaps to dominate the competition. So if there's anything you want to take down today, take a screenshot or write this down. These are the core components right now. So you need a GPT foundation. That's a general intelligence, a large language model, or specific language model. Knowledge base, your company private, not you need a knowledge base, and that's your company's private brain and memory bank. You need agents that does chat, voice agent, marketing, scheduling, reporting, invoicing, and sales. You need a functional modules like a plug and play workflows that we have already built for some of them. And you need an ecosystem, and that is a business operating system, for example, accountable.link, or you bring your own current ERP system on board. You need an orchestrator layer that makes everything works together. And for us, it's the butler on the go. And you need hyper customization for your workflows that AI adopts to your workflow, not the other way around. So let's do a quick recap on the investment and ROI. Think of this way: with Alpha AI, you've got to two parts to invest. You know, the setups and the ongoing retainer for maintenance. But there is a good news. Most businesses break even not for years, but in weeks. But now, once you pass the break even, here's where the multiplier actually kicks in. By year one, you're looking at least 1 to 2 return. I'm being very, very conservative here. By year two, it can scale up to 1 to 10. And by year three, it hits as high as 20. And that is the compounding effect of AI when implemented in the right way. So now I often get this question from business owners. Can't I just hire someone junior overseas or in-house just to build the same thing? And the answer is yes, of course you can, but let's talk about the cost. So a senior AI engineer or full stack developer will set you back around $150,000 to 200 grand per year. And here's the kicker. They won't work alone. They will need subcontractors or junior devs or support. And all in, you're easily looking at $350,000 a year, every single year. And check out the salary report. You can scan the QR code to get to the report yourself. But this is essentially how much it costs, and that's the market price. And now let's see it in contract. So with Alfred, you pay a one-time setup fee, anywhere between 10 grand to 70 grand or 100 grand, depending on your needs. And there is a fraction. That's a fraction of a cost to build an in-house IT or AI team. On top of that, you can deploy your own dedicated cloud server, private, secure, and yours. And all that AI token usage, heavy lifting of processing, the servers, and that's all included in our monthly maintenance fee, anywhere between $250 to $2,000, depends on usage. And so, who thinks this sounds like a bargain, and who sees a real value here? Typing 1 or 2. 1 meaning you see a value. 2, you think that it's not a good value. There's not enough good values for you still. All right. And because here's the truth, right? We don't just hand you tools. We want to give you a system that creates compound returns year after year. So, but don't just hear from me or from us. Listen to the clients we have served and their level of appreciation and satisfaction.
Alfred had a really, really bold promise. We can create you a custom lifelike voice agent and it do the exact same thing that you would have a normal sales development rep do. And within 4 weeks, I had a relatively autonomous voice agent that was looking after all of my inbound leads. It was booking me appointments into my calendar within the CRM. It was doing long-term nurturing and re-engagement while I was doing the actual sales calls and spending time with clients. This has been an absolute game changer for me. The amount of time it has freed up and the amount of money it has saved me over the long term, I haven't been able to calculate it yet. The guys really know what they're doing. They have created something that has systematically improved my business tenfold. I will absolutely be coming back for other AI agents. I would highly recommend that you have a conversation with Will and his team. And it has been a lifesaver for me while I've been scaling my business out. Could not recommend enough.
Hi, my name is Sam from eWeb Marketing. We are a digital marketing agency based out of Chatswood in Sydney. We have been constantly bombarded with clients coming back to us and asking, how can I use AI for our business? On our journey looking up for different platforms, we came across Alfred AI. And I'm really happy that we chose Alfred AI because we have more than 12 different applications for our clients that we're using the platform for.
My name's Colin. I'm the MD here at JCA Lift Consultants. We primarily focus on feasibility reports, lifecycle auditing, and also technical design briefs. What we were struggling with actually was just the time and speed of delivery of our services. I went and spoke to Will and the team at Alfred AI, and what we've developed was a lift audit report writer. It gave us the ability to turn over reports within minutes.
I'm the founder and director of Optimize AI Consulting. We're very happy with Alfred AI. Not just we're using it, we also recommend Alfred AI to our other clients.
It's been transformational for our team, from lead research to auto invoicing. And we've been able to save on 2 full-time staff this year. I couldn't recommend it more.
My name is Matilda Tomasetti, and I'm the Australian Country Director of Trademark Group of Companies. William Zhang has been an executive member with us for 4 years, and it's been a privilege to have him a part of our global business platform. We really look forward to taking the next step by utilizing Alfred AI to help streamline our operations.
I would strongly recommend Alfred AI for any business or any digital marketing agency looking at adding value to their customers.
We'll certainly be using Alfred AI for a lot more services, and we look forward to working with Alfred AI, Will and the team, and trying to expand our business as best we can as we continue to grow nationally.
Alrighty, so apart from these success stories, on average, our clients save about 20 to 30% operation cost just in 90 days. So what are the 2 things I would like to really suggest we do next is that if you have learned something useful in this session, we have a in-person workshop coming up in the next month. We are going to plan out how you can step-by-step start your business AI transformation journey, hands-on, build part of your AI knowledge and based life. And that's going to be either in Western Sydney or in the CBD. You can scan the QR code on the left just to register. And for this webinar only, if you don't have 90 minutes plus travel for the workshop and you want a bit of privacy on what you want to do next, scan the pink QR code on the right. You'll get a one-on-one consultation, usually valued at $1,500 plus GST, but now for free for today on the webinar if you register right now. So we will only take 5 clients for this month due to capacity, but it's going to be a very private ROI focused session. Will give you a full strategy of AI transformation tailored for your business and your budget. So so you've seen what these systems can do, and you got 2 very clear steps now. And if you want to roll up your sleeves, join our in-person session. If you prefer one-on-one, scan the QR code on the right and get a free consultation. And either way, take action today, because the business who moves fast are the ones who win. Don't leave this session thinking about, okay, interesting. Leave with a step booked, workshop or consultation. That's where the result actually begins. Grow your alpha with Alfred. Scan the QR code now to register. And now we're open for questions for 10 minutes. We're happy to take any questions that you may have in the chat box.